You're listening to Life Check Yourself with life coach, transformational leader, and dating and relationship badass, Marni Batista. Every week, you'll get the raw truth from top experts and real people on the important life and love issues you want to know about. So, if you're ready to life check yourself in your relationships, your career, and the areas of your life that matter most to you, and you're not afraid to be called out on your, stuff, then you're ready for what's next.
Life Check Yourself with Chris Gillis. Why don't I want to be the nice guy? Ladies, and maybe your gentlemen as well, welcome. So it sounded like I was doing like the circus. Ladies, welcome. I have some great news for you, Chris.
What's that?
Yesterday when I was in a coaching call with a bunch of clients, one of the ladies was like, I listen to the Life Check Yourself Bachelor podcast like every single week because I get so much help and like such really good information. It's so amazing. I love hearing you, Chris. I just thought I'd give you a compliment as we kick off.
I love compliments.
I know you do, and I love you. So, hey guys, or no, I can't say that anymore. Hey y'all. We are going to talk about Bachelorette, and we had a fun episode to discuss. But yet, actually, there's so much more. Even if you don't watch the show, we are going to talk about so many things. And the first thing I want to talk about this, because I disagree with you, I think, maybe.
I like it.
There's a dude on there named Brandon. I think he is a nice young man. He seems sweet, but you seem to think that he's a smooth-talking, nice guy or a player. And I think this is a really good question. Like, how do you know if someone is like just like charismatic and nice and a good conversationalist and kind of smooth, or like low-key hidden narcissist player? Right. So what
vibes is he?
At first his vibes were giving me smooth talker, I want to win. But the more, and it's really funny because in the show last night when he was having one of those producer interviews, I actually looked in his eyes, which is so weird. But I was like, does he feel it? And I got this sense that he actually really is falling in love with her. And I told you guys at the beginning, I think I read a spoiler about who wins. And this is sort of having me sort of confused because, so here's what I want to make it universal for everyone is this is what I'm looking at. I looked in his eyes. I'm also noticing his body language when they're together. And I feel like of all of the dudes when they sat on the couch with the families this week, that she felt like the most physically connected to Brandon. And he was the one where the families were talking about she was talking to his dad about playing basketball and stuff, right? That was Brandon, right?
Yeah.
And so I felt like there was a lot. I think the family connection thing meant a lot to her, and he seemed to get excited about that. And he seems like emotionally, like he's sharing some feelings. So I feel like he's genuine as we can tell from being in a highly produced reality TV show. But like, what's giving you vibes that he's a smooth talker, like player?
Two things. First of all, ladies, if you have somebody you're really interested in, for a low fee, just like in the movie Big, you can hire Marni like Zoltar, and she will look into the eyes of your man, and she'll find out if he's in love with you or just full of shit, and he's just smooth talking and boy, just saying what he needs to say to steal the rose between your legs. But no, Marni can. I didn't know that. You know what? I like that though. I'm curious. I'll have you break that down. But and I'm gonna pull back the old. Let you into the back of the kitchen a little bit and give a little secret on smooth talking men, because I know on a little bit, and how they can say things to move the relationship along and play subtlety things. So one of the things that Brandon did, very, very high EQ. The guy's very intelligent. I kind of got that also from, I can see his he's also charismatic though, like you said. But when he was doing that, this thing where he was talking about, their families together, and he's been very good. Van is so good at pushing the ball. So in like the pickup community, I hate to sell out the guys out there, but I don't mind anymore. That's like called future pacing. So you're constantly get them to get out of reality, get past worries, and focus on, the fishing with the family and the love and the vacations. And so,
but she brought that up.
Yeah, because she wants to get. And that's one thing you're always like knocking these girls, like, hey, dummies, slow down here before instead of asking the important questions, or like, oh, well, let's talk about who's gonna what brand of basketball are we going to be playing with when we play one-on-one? Like, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Slow down. Find out. How do they communicate and what's going to happen when real life and troubles happen. Yeah. So she may have brought it up in the fishing, but Brandon, do you remember the last episode, which we didn't get to break it down last week, but yeah, Brandon was cleverly showing up in the hot tub and just and he has the balls. The guy's got massive nuts, man, for a small guy. Comes in there and to talk, and he's wearing the trunks, and he's like, can I get a minute alone just with your parents? And, kicks her out. And he's like, hey, I want to.
I liked that though. I didn't think it was.
You think it's
weird.
all I like Zoltar's skills, and maybe I'm just pessimistic because I've known too many guys like that, and former hunter myself. I'm like, man, it's. I don't know if it's intentional, if it's just in his blood, but it's definitely purposeful, I think, and. Is it bad intentions? I don't think it's bad intentions. Actually, I do think he's a good guy. But I just saw that, like, he's just kicking the can farther and farther, but just getting her to think about other stuff, and she's got her all googly eyed, and I don't know if that's a great thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think, and I totally see your point. I think, like, the big lesson of all of this is, like, these people have known each other like 4 or 5 weeks, and so like you never can tell, really, honestly, that short of a period of time. That's why I always say, like, do their words and actions match consistently over time? Which takes us to, like, the great quote from Nayte's dad. I think it was Nayte's stepdad. Being in love versus being married. One is a feeling, the other is a commitment. I liked that. And I think that's the thing, generally speaking, is for our listeners, is that when you have those sparks and that chemistry, and maybe he is saying all the right things, you want to be cautiously optimistic. Because if someone is, like, future pacing too much, like, oh, you should do this, or we'll go here, or we'll do that, or I can't wait to take you to, like, Italy, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you've known each other like twice. It feels a little, like a little sus, as my kids would say.
I used to have a friend. This motherfucker would be at a bar, and I hated it. It wasn't fair. So we'd all be going there single, and he wasn't anything, just an average dude on every spectrum. However, he always brought a girl home, and I was like, what the fuck is he saying? I'd listen to him, and he'd always be like, and he'd lean over, and, like, as soon as let's say whatever, two of us are talking to the same girl, going for it, competing for him to let her choose. He'd be so fucker, would always be like, hey, what do you do? Hey, what are you doing talking to my wife? He'd call her his wife and his bride. And oh my God.
Oh, that's so skeevy.
So brilliant. But I mean, talk about ultimate future pacing.
Yeah.
So those are some of the, like, I was like, hold on, Brandon. Like, again, I'm not saying it comes from a bad place. And there is something so beautiful about, falling in love with a charismatic man and how much fun it is. But I'm just giving you guys, I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit and tell you what's going on in the kitchen. Like, okay, sometimes it has a powerful effect and doesn't always come from a pure place. I'm not sure. I don't have your Zoltar powers.
Well, I don't, look, here's the thing. I don't know. But what I will say is this, is I think that's the guy that a lot of women would fall for, and maybe even have their guard up. Like, maybe he is genuine, but they might be guarded. Versus the dude who got released, Rodney. who seems like a really nice guy. And I think you said to me, why did she get rid of nice Rodney, who seems really genuine, emotionally available, reasonably, versus Nayte, who's never been in a love before, never been in a long-term relationship. His parents, he doesn't talk to his parents ever about his relationships, his feelings. Like, it's really interesting. And so I think if I was going to say, so you said, why did she let go of Rodney? It's like, because she doesn't want to fuck Rodney. Because I was watching her, even like when he'd kiss her and stuff, I could just, my experience of her was just like, blah, you know, like, but even though she said like, oh, your parents said your person should be your best friend, which I think is great advice. But also I think, or your friend at least, right? Like, it's that I didn't feel that sexual chemistry with her. And I don't think, and this is a really important thing for our listeners, because she had these other guys that she wants to bang like so badly, she didn't really try to create chemistry with Rodney. And I think in a real life dating situation, there's lots of Rodneys that you're going to come across who are like really nice. They treat you well. They're handsome. Like the whole thing is like, why is Rodney keep saying Rodney. It's Rodney. Exactly. He's like, hello, I'm at the door.
It's my friend.
It's my friend who's on me. Exactly. I think that in reality, like in real life, like it's really important when the guy is treating you well and he's and you're like, there's no chemistry, and you just, or like he's too nice or whatever, and people just discount that person. And I think like if I were coaching her, I would be like, what are you possibly have all your eggs in these other baskets of like the guys that you want to have sex with, so you're not making an effort to create chemistry or really connect with the other guys. And I think for ladies that go and do what I suggest, which is to not sleep with multiple guys, but dating multiple guys. Don't put all your eggs in one basket until you're sure that that's the basket you want. I think what happens is we get really hooked into like that charismatic guy, or the guy that we think he's our type, or the guy who's playing a little bit more hard to get. And then we ignore the Rodney who's like right there. And so I think that he is a gem. He's one of those guys who goes on Paradise and like meets somebody. He's like the Joe. He's like grocery store Joe.
Oh, okay.
You know, like where he's just a nice guy. And I do think he happens to be attractive. Okay, this is a super segue, and I know it wasn't even on your list, but I was like dying to talk to you about it. At the end of the episode, so it's like a breakup speech. And we all have those moments where we have to like break up with someone or end something. And it pissed me off so much. She was like so, in my opinion, condescending. Like, I know that you think you're a loser. Basically, I know you think you're a loser, but you shouldn't feel bad that I didn't pick you. Like, you're not a loser. Like, what the fuck was that? I mean, how was your reaction to that?
First of all, the same way you want to get your hooks into some of these people. Like, I totally, Rodney, like I want to coach Rodney because it pains me to see so many, to see like these guys are these are a good group of guys, but to see like the Juan Pablos of the world or whatever, all out over the Rodneys, and, God damn. Well, okay, like you just said a second ago, and I think it's worth revisiting. It's like you said, right, she didn't want to fuck Rodney, and like, but you think Rodney's, physically, he's an attractive guy, and God, he's so funny, but yeah, just on the outtakes too, babe, right? You're watching the outtakes and you're like, there's no sex. It's like little dorky brother and big sister chemistry. The way he was like, just kept supplicating, like leaning himself, making himself smaller than her and all those things. Like, ugh, I can see how that's not that's not. I don't know. I digress.
Even in the, did you watch the end of the credits where they were spoofing doing a cooking show? Yeah, and she was just like, "Oh, Rodney," you know.
Oh, Jesus, right? Yeah. After a while, it was like, yeah, like my dumb little brher here, and like now I gotta kiss him every time. So yeah, it does make sense that she felt more sorry for them than more in love with him and more in lust with him or whatnot. So. But I do, yeah. I also thought it was cringy and kind of sad and pathetic, and I think her heart was in the right place, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that she labeled him, and so this is another mistake that women make, right? Like she labeled him, right? Like he's the nice guy, he's the underdog, and what woman wants to see herself? No, I know, but he did. That's true. But then he did label himself. But what woman wants to be with the underdog? You know, and so even when you ladies are dating and you think like, oh, this guy's out of my league, like I'm the underdog, I'm not enough. Just like it energetically gets like transmitted. And so whatever side of that coin you fall on, if you're doing it or you're dating that guy, like you're not the underdog. And if you're ever going to break up with someone, don't ever say like, you're not as bad as you think you are. Be like, you're amazing and I have better relationships with the other guys, period, goodbye. So that was just cringy. And what's really pisses me off is that Michelle is so like, don't like, I'm an empowered woman. And then she disempowered him. And I bet our friend Martin would not have liked how that went down because I just thought she was super like, I don't know, she was crying and shit, but like, I don't know. She bugs. Okay, they all bug. You know what? Honestly, it could be like my favorite person in the whole world. And by the end, the way they characterize these people, because it is a show, it's hard. Okay, let's talk about this. So Nayte. Nayte.
It's actually Nathaniel too, by the way. I was like, what the hell?
Okay, but I went online. So I went online and I was like, what the hell? Maybe it wasn't. It was who's the one that works at Indeed? Oh, it's Nayte. He works at Indeed, and he's an account executive or something. Okay. Yep. But his name, wait, where is this? I have to find it. But it doesn't say it's Nathaniel. Nayte's this is just so fucked. It says online, granted, my source is screenrant.com, but it says his full name is Tunde Nayte Alcuyo, and his hometown is Austin, Texas. So I don't see Nathaniel anywhere.
Interesting.
Tunde Nayte Alcuyo. I'm butchering his last name, and I apologize. Okay. But so I didn't see a Nathaniel. I also was just really fascinated, and this is just me because I'm a grandma. I was like, I wonder with all those tattoos all over his body, I was like, oh, I wonder what, and this is because not in judgment, but curiosity. Honestly, I was like, oh, I wonder what his job is where it doesn't matter his body decor, right? Like, and so it makes sense that he works for Indeed because I'm guessing it's super remote and it doesn't matter. So anyway,
and whatnot. Were you more shocked by his amazing long Nigerian name, or that he was 6'8"?
I did not know that he's 6'8". I did not know that. Look. Here's the thing. Like, I think I don't not like Nayte. I think he's. And I'm not saying he's gay. I'm saying he's like Colton or any of these guys that are so emotionally stunted. You're just like, wow. But most of them are on this show, let's be honest. So, because most humans are, and that's okay. And that's why we're here listening to this show. So, but I will give him lots of cred because that conversation that he did have with his stepdad, Charles, where he said, like, I can't believe we never talked about this. And I probably never said I love you. And I do. Versus, remember the awkward Matt James conversation where he had to be confronted with his bio dad and he was, I don't know. I just felt like Nayte was really actually interested and wants to be more emotional. I think my experience of him was like, this is fucked up. Like, we need to like talk more. Like, I actually like this.
Yeah. weird time to bring it up on national television with all the other opportunities. It was strange. It was like watching some like weird Jordan Peele movie where everybody like can't share the secret and they can't talk about it, and he find like why are they all so committed to not discussing emotions at all, and it was strange. Like
it was strange.
They let us in on that. So it's what blows my mind, and help us out here. So 6'8", tattoo, sexy, charismatic, makes you laugh, intelligent, fun. How does a woman? How can you not fall for that? You know.
Well, it's true, and I think that she is interested. I mean, obviously, but this is the mistake that people make: is they fall in love with the potential of the person, and this guy has it all on paper, right? Like you listed his credentials like spot on. Like he's got all of it going on. He's got a great fucking smile. Like
great smile. Yep.
His name is spelled cool. I mean,
even his name.
Nayte. You know, my daughter's boyfriend's name is Nayte, Nate. And so I was joking with him, and I was like
saying that. Now you'll never, in your mind, even when you say it, now you're thinking Nayte whenever.
No, I'm not. He's so not. He's so sweet and so is amazing. No, he's not. No.
Always think that now.
Exactly, but I do enjoy watching Nayte.
You got a Raina. You threw an AY in your
Oh yeah, no, totally. Raina. She says that some people go Raina. Raina. They just really get into the AY.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the thing, we are so all over the place today, and I love it. I think that like it's so easy to fall in love with the potential, and he gave us a glimmer, right? Like his eyes teared up, and he said, like, "You're changing me, and like you're changing me, and like you're helping me become the guy I want to be," and that's amazing. Like I think, I don't know, you can. Do you think that Dr. Emily
100%.
helps you to be a better man?
Yes.
100%.
I think definitely.
She inspires you to be a better man. I think like a lot of men would say that, like that the women in their life inspire them to be the best versions of themselves. So again, I like that he says that. The thing is, I just am not sure if he can sustain it. It's like the other dude, Martin, who was like, "Oh, I'm not really emotional, but I want to be emotional, and I would hope to learn how to be emotional. And when we have a family," and what's weird is she's not asking Nayte the same question. Because remember that conversation with Martin where she was like, you know, like asking him about his emotional patterns that he grew up with, because Martin reveals like my family wasn't emotional and blah 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 as well, but she was sort of like querying him about it, and we are not seeing. She could be asking those questions, we're just not seeing it. But I think it's just really interesting, and also it's a reality show, so they've got to make characters. So the Martin character was kind of like a bad guy, and Nayte is a good guy, and so we're just seeing like this moment of possibility. And so when you're dating, again, I think you want to make sure consistency over time. So like, how is Nayte showing up 6 months from now? Like, is he really working on it, or is that the last time he ever like shows his emotions? Sure.
And to remember, and if you are dating a Nayte out there, Mr. freaking MVP potential, right? Which is fun because it feels good to, to build something and say, hey, look at, have a cool story to tell. To also just remember to have the grace that, hey, Nayte's still in like first grade or second grade now. Yes. Emotionally, he's getting there. He's he's fast tracking. But constantly, just remind yourself you're gonna ask yourself, what the hell am I doing? And you're gonna lose your mind. You're dealing with a guy who's never been in love at 20 somehow else.
27. Is he right? Is he 27? Is that what we decided?
We got a little fact checker here. And with the family though, and with
he's 27.
27 in a family situation that they just can't even talk about. Like their family's like confused that he's sexual, and in a relationship at all. It's just strange. Again, like I said, like a strange Jordan Peele movie. Get those emotions out of here.
And the mom was like, I mean, it's kind of you should be concerned. He's never been in love. Like, it's kind of weird. So I don't
Strange that
know.
the producers. Do you think like what's going on here? Do you think that the producers gas up the yeah? They really shit on him. It was entertaining. You asked like, well, because I watched this 1 o'clock in the morning last night. Like, Chris, how'd you stay up so late? I was kind of blown away that his family would go on TV and I'm not say shit on him, but be so brutally honest that hey, actually my son's a mental, emotional midget still, and he's probably not ready for this. So almost like talking her out of proposing or getting engaged to him, almost like, hey, he's going to need more time. Leave him in the oven longer before you make him get down on a knee, sort of thing. Well, it was strange.
And Nayte's stepdad said the same thing, right? Being in love versus being married. One's a feelings, the other's a commitment. And I think that's so brilliant. And I think he's having feelings. And I thought his stepdad was awesome, actually. He was validating. He's like, your feelings are totally real and they're amazing. But also that's very different than actually making a commitment to get married. And I did love that scene. And I really just thought that was such a shout out to like stepdads, and Jeremy being a stepdad. And I just was like really thinking about like how
Jeremy's gonna drop any big old deep tooth bomb. He's more on Joe's dad's.
He can be, but I just think that it was really lovely whether he said it on TV or not. Like it was just really nice especially since the parents are divorced.
Yeah.
Right. I just thought it was really awesome that he got to say, even if it was in this super like fake setting. Moment. I thought it was a beautiful moment. And honestly, it was the highlight of the show because, again, it's just pretty boring. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about. I saw something online. They're like, what people are saying this show is boring because Michelle's so cool. And I was like, maybe. I don't know.
I like online. I like the controversy. You do say it's boring a lot, but then we're always all gassed up and talking about it. We got stuff to say.
No, I know. I just, when I'm watching it, I know. That's what I say.
It's boring. Bang! You're gonna be all welted up because is she kind of more stable, and does she kick out all the villains off the show? Yeah, I think the producers, I'm sure they wanted it to be a little more tame and to set a tone, but I think, why do you think it is more? Why do you think it is? What's
boring?
going on here? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll save that for later. But I want to ask you this. Okay. Online, everyone is really mad that Clayton is the new Bachelor. And the stuff that you shared with me, because Chris is my Instagram conduit since I'm not on it, was with all these top 4 guys, that only one is going to be chosen. Why are not one of these dudes the Bachelor? And here we have this Clayton guy. And I was trying to research it a little bit last night about it. And they picked him like so long ago, and it was leaked or intentionally leaked. And I saw the preview, and I literally thought it was a scene from another season because all these blonde screaming, crying, and I know I'm being super. I was just like, oh, where do they keep finding these people that are just so cookie cutter contestant-y? But that's neither here nor there. I don't know why there's a controversy other than we just, it's funny. Like they pick somebody we don't know very well, like Matt James. And we're like, why didn't they pick someone, that we weren't already comfortable with? Are they making that same kind of mistake? Like this is a guy we barely know.
And forcing it down our throat. It is weird, Marni, that they, okay, it's one thing like, oh, we want to save, his, like maybe all of it got edited, everything about him, and he's just really just truly care. We were going to fall in love with him, but it's strange that they didn't make us be like, cheer like the same way that we cheered for like Andrew in the past or Big Mike in the past. Like, I want that. You know, it's so strange. So I'm kind of a little worried actually now that I think about it. Like, well, fuck, maybe they just didn't have much to work with, so they just completely cut it out because it's strange that they wouldn't get America cheering and then be like, yay, and talking about how stoked we are right now on the podcast that they chose Clayton. Instead, we're like, oh yeah, he's a nice guy. He's pretty nice. He's a good, Missouri dude and Midwest and salt of the earth. All right,
yeah.
Like you said, back to business, back to normal. But maybe he'll be I don't know. Were you? I don't think you. I think I just came back from Kansas. Emily's mom, Dr. Emily's mom, is a huge. Probably listening right now. Hey Sue, awesome Thanksgiving dinner, and she's a big fan, and it does seem like he's maybe more moldable and more. I don't know, what do you call it, Marnie, when you can put someone on screen and coach them and they'll kind of follow directions, whereas Matt James was just stiff and it was awkward to watch him on there. So yeah, maybe and these girls they're all screaming, running at him in their baby. He's like, scared. So maybe he'll just be better. Like you said, maybe we're gonna be back to old batshit normal Bachelor franchise that we all know and love and feels like mother's milk again.
Oh my God, mother's milk. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it, but I do know that while I will pretend that I won't watch, that I will. And Reality Reina said, I'm not watching. And I was like thinking, yes, you will.
My precious.
You'll watch, my little precious. Anyway, and also you all will watch too. But even if you don't watch, we will continue to bring you really amazing things that you can apply in your own life. And so my takeaway, what do you call it? The hot take?
Sure, hot take.
My hot take from this episode was this. When you think you know someone, that's amazing. Be cautiously optimistic and look to see if they are who you think they are consistently over time. Number 2, don't rule out the nice guy. Are you trying to create chemistry or connection, or are you just looking for a way to get out of it because there's some other guy that you want to bang? And number 3 is... don't just fall in love with the potential. Ask better questions, like you said, rather than it'll be so fun when our families go fishing together. What are your hot takes from this episode?
Number 4, just have sex with Rodney one time and see if you like it. Fine, let's make sure.
I bet he's probably great.
I bet he's a very generous lover.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Okay, carry on. What else?
That's it. That's all.
That's all.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Also add, man, I love, again, the reason I was able to have my eyes open and be like, I'm just fascinated by just coming back from Thanksgiving, you guys probably spent some time with your loved ones' families, and if you got them or maybe revealed yourself, and how much family can reveal about the person that you are or the person you're dating. And so I think it's interesting to sit back and be like, yes, you're going to get slivers of that drama in your life. So, and the struggles that they work with. So don't fool yourself and think that, listen to what he says, watch how people interact, and watch how the guy you're dating, what he does to those pieces that the family's given to him. Maybe it's just shit. Is he making shit sandwiches out of it, or is he just stepping all in it to keep on going? So that's why I'm like, our forerunner, you already know how this ends, don't you, Marn?
I think I do. I mean, if the spoiler alert is right, but now I might be a little confused. The other thing I have to just say that, I think is tainting me in the last 2 episodes, or since we found out that Tayshia and Zach broke up, is when they're saying, this is my forever person, I only want to get engaged once, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's all fake. I mean, good luck. And so that makes me sad. But what I was also more interested in, and what I was thinking about while I was watching it, is this. So this is the last prediction for this episode. Okay. Do you think Tayshia will get fired as a host because she's no longer engaged? Because they're always well, they haven't recently. They've barely been on it, honestly. But they're like, oh, I know how it was for me. Like, and she was even saying like about her hometown visit, and it's all irrelevant now, right? Because she's. So I was just wondering, is she going to get to keep her gig, even though she's no longer a success story?
Well, I didn't know the franchise. Yeah, like kind of boot you out if you're.
I have no idea.
Go walk, and yeah, that's what America should be upset about. Is
exactly.
I'm so curious, and they're super quiet about it, which makes me even more okay. But so does that mean would that leave Caitlin Bristow with the helm, or would they bring in somebody?
I don't know. I just really hope in my dream, my Christmas wish, my Hanukkah wish for 2022, my Kwanzaa wish, I would like an actual host.
Yeah. Bring David Spade back.
Yes.
That was good. God.
Let's start a writing campaign. Yeah. All right, Mr. Gillis. So next week's the finale. Super exciting.
Oh shit!
It's probably gonna be like hours long. Oh my god. But it'll be amazing, and we will have lots of lessons, and I'm super excited about it. And in the meantime, ladies, whatever you do, life check yourself. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for tuning into today's show. So if being in an intimate relationship in which you feel 100% seen, heard, and accepted by a high caliber man is a priority for you right now, and you're interested in seeing if you're a fit for working with me and my team at Dating with Dignity, here's what I want you to do. Just head over to DWD VIP, that's D as in dating, W, D as in dating, VIP.com, and book a call to speak with my team. We'll get on the phone with you for about 60 minutes, and you'll get crystal clear on what's stopping you from finding true love right now. We'll also take a look at what you want to create, what you want your whole life to look like when you're able to finally be fully expressed as a woman in a healthy relationship with an incredible guy. And if we can help you get from where you are right now to where you want to be, we will show you the fastest path possible that makes sense for you to do that. We help smart, successful women all over the world solve this one missing piece in their life so they can finally have it all. So to see if we can help you do the same thing, head over to DWDVIP.com. I'm Marni Batista, and let's talk soon.